Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now today, this one's mostly for the men, but ladies, don't click away just yet because I promise you there's knowledge here that you're going to want to hear. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's powerful, often misunderstood, and honestly, life-changing if applied the right way. I'm talking about semen retention, Nofap, and holding your energy. Now, I know a lot of men are already obsessed with this, and I've seen countless discussions online. But one thing I noticed, hardly any women are talking about it. It's almost like it's a male-dominated conversation. And that's what makes today special, because I'm here to give a woman's perspective. I'm here to weigh in on something men have been curious about for a long time. Can women sense semen retention? Can we literally feel it in a man? Before we get into that, let me say this. Semen retention is not just about sexual abstinence. It's not just about no nut November or holding off on pleasure. It's energy mastery. It's about holding your most vital life force, your power, your creative energy, and directing it where it actually matters. And yes, if you haven't seen my last video breaking down semen retention from my perspective, I highly recommend checking that out after this one, because today we're going deeper, and it's going to change how you think about yourself and your energy. Now, the big question, can women actually sense it? Can they feel the difference in a man who's holding his energy versus one who's leaking it everywhere? And I'm not talking about some mystical nonsense or pheromones. I'm talking about energy. Pure, undeniable energy. It's something you can literally feel when you're around the right person. It's the difference between a man who is fully grounded, who commands his own presence, versus one who is scattered, drained, or fragmented. Here's an analogy that really captures it. Imagine a plastic water bottle. That water inside, that's your life force, your sexual energy, your vitality. Now, if you're constantly giving it away through mindless scrolling, casual sexual encounters, one-night stands, masturbation, or just leaking it without awareness, you have tiny punctures all over your bottle. Every time you give away a little piece of your energy, you're losing water. You don't even notice it at first, but slowly, day by day, week by week, your bottle empties. And when your bottle is empty, you feel it. You feel tired, unmotivated, weak, depleted, and that energy, or lack of it, radiates out to the world. People can pick up on it. I can pick up on it. You can pick up on it. It's subtle, but it's there. Now flip the script. Imagine holding your energy. You're filling that bottle, keeping it safe, and being aware of how you're spending it. Every bit of energy you retain adds to your vitality, your presence, your confidence. The longer you hold it, the stronger, more magnetic, and more centered you become. It's not about using this as a trick to attract women. That's not the goal. The real power is in self-mastery, self-love, and awareness. And here's something a lot of people miss. Retention isn't just physical. It's energetic, emotional, and mental. When a man is leaking energy through unhealthy habits, like compulsively liking random pictures on Instagram, scrolling for validation, or chasing after fleeting pleasures, he's still losing. He's still scattering that water. He might be abstaining physically, but energetically, he's not practicing real retention. True retention is devotion to yourself, to your growth, your goals, your creativity, your health, your spirit. That's where the real magic happens. So, back to our big question. Can women sense it? And the answer is yes, but only if it's real. Only if your intention is pure. If you're holding your energy for yourself, not to impress anyone, not to manipulate attraction, not to get validation, yes, an awakened woman can sense that power, that solidity, that self-containment. There's a difference between a man who is scattered, anxious, or depleted, and a man who has mastered his energy. The latter exudes a presence that's magnetic, calm, and undeniably powerful. You don't even have to speak. It's in your aura, your posture, your energy, your gaze, your vibration. That's what real semen retention looks like. Let me give you another analogy. Imagine your energy as seed in fertile soil. When you're scattering it everywhere without awareness, you're planting seeds in dead soil, in places that cannot grow. Those seeds go to waste. But when you retain your energy, when you focus it on yourself, when you cultivate your mind, body, and soul, your energy becomes fertile ground. Every act, every thought, every intention you plant now has a chance to grow into something powerful, meaningful, and lasting. That's the difference. That's why retention isn't about denying pleasure. It's about redirecting power into life, into creativity, into growth. And this is something I want men especially to hear. Your sexual energy is your most potent force. It's literally your life force. When you give it away mindlessly, it's gone. But when you harness it, your presence becomes undeniable. You can literally walk into a room and people, especially women, will feel it. You radiate stability, confidence, and power. You become magnetic without trying. That's the magic. That's the hidden secret men have been chasing without realizing. But here's the catch. Intention is everything. If you're doing retention just to attract women, just to impress someone, just to manipulate energy, it won't work. Women, especially awakened women, can feel that. They can sense the manipulation, the ego, the desperation, the imbalance. The energy is fake. The water in your bottle might still be there physically, but energetically, it's leaking. It's not real power. True retention only works when it's for you, and you alone. For self-mastery, for growth, for clarity, for creating a life that is yours. That's when your energy becomes magnetic. That's when it penetrates not just women, but the world around you. People feel it. Your energy leads before your words. Now, let's talk about some practical applications, because this isn't just philosophy, it's actionable. If you want to practice true retention, you have to cut the leaks. That means stop giving your energy away mindlessly. Stop chasing validation on social media. Stop engaging in energy-draining interactions. Stop allowing habits that scatter your energy. Every like, every swipe, every compulsive interaction is energy leaving your bottle. And the more you retain, the more powerful you become, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. This also applies to relationships. Men, the more you hold your energy, the more stable and attractive you become. But it's not just about sexual attraction. Women sense discipline, self-control, and maturity. They feel that solidity, that centeredness, that self-possession. That's far more magnetic than any physical act. And women, the same applies to you. Holding your energy, being self-contained, and cultivating your life force has the same effect. It's about mastering your energy, creating your internal power, and letting that radiate outward. And here's a truth most people don't realize. Retention amplifies your creative and spiritual energy. That energy that used to leak away, it can now fuel your goals, your passions, your vision. You become more focused, more motivated, more aligned with your purpose. Life stops being about chasing external validation or fleeting pleasures. It becomes about fulfilling your own potential. That's where the reward lies, not in a one-night stand, not in fleeting attention, not in a woman sensing your energy just for the sake of it. The reward is internal. You feel alive, potent, capable, and unstoppable. And let me be clear, this isn't easy. Men have higher sex drives, and practicing retention can be challenging. But the longer you go, the stronger your mind becomes, the more self-awareness you develop, and the more energy you can direct into your life. And every time you resist an unnecessary release, every time you focus your energy inward, you're building true power. The next time you give your energy, it's meaningful, impactful, and transformational. You're no longer scattering seeds in the wind. You're planting them in fertile soil where they can flourish. So back to the big question, can women sense it? Absolutely, yes, but only if your practice is real, intentional, and self-directed. If your retention is selfish in the right way, focused on growth, self-awareness, and mastery, women will sense it, and so will the world. But if your retention is manipulative, ego-driven, or external, it won't work. Energy is honest. It always shows. It cannot be faked. And here's the ultimate takeaway. Retention is not about women. It's about you, your life force, your potential, your growth, your mastery. It's about learning to hold your power, control your energy, and create a life that reflects your true strength. It's about walking into the world fully contained, fully alive, fully magnetic. That's the real secret behind Nofap, semen retention, and energy mastery. It's about self-mastery, self-respect, and self-love. When you master your energy, the world responds. When you master your energy, you become the man or woman you were always meant to be. And yes, an awakened person will sense it immediately. So men and women, take this seriously. Stop scattering your energy. Start cultivating it. Plant your seeds wisely. Fill your bottle fully. Practice awareness, intention, and self-love. And watch how your life changes. Watch how relationships, creativity, success, and energy respond to the man or woman who has mastered themselves. This is the true tower. This is the magic. This is why energy mastery and semen retention are not just trends, they're life-altering practices that will shape your future in ways most people will never understand. And with that, I want to ask you again, can women sense semen retention? If you're practicing it for the right reasons, if your intention is pure, if you're holding your energy for self-mastery, the answer is a resounding yes. It's felt, it's sensed, it's unmistakable. Your energy penetrates before your words, before your actions, before your physical presence. That's real power. That's real magnetism. That's why retention is more than abstinence. It's mastery. So if you take anything away from today's video, remember this. Do it for yourself, not for someone else. Grow, cultivate, master, and retain. Become a vessel of energy, a force to be reckoned with, a person who commands life because they command themselves. And when you do that, the world will feel it. And yes, so will an awakened woman. That's the truth. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, experiences, or questions, and don't forget to share it with someone who needs to hear this. Your energy is powerful. Your life is yours, and the time to master it is now.